Hello there, art geeks! Today we are embarking on a journey in the heart of Iloilo City to sit down with a very special artist, Sir Kristoffer Brasileño. Join us today here at the Trive Art Gallery. Come join me. Sir, thank you so much for gracing Arts Geek Manila and welcome to Arts Geek Manila.
Thank you so much, din, and welcome to Iloilo. Welcome to our gallery.
Wow, this is an amazing space for artists to come together. So, Sister Kristoffer is a key figure, if I may be bold to say that, a key figure in Ilonggo arts, especially here in Iloilo. And I've seen your work, sir, and your work often explores the Ilonggo identity.
Yes.
How do you think the themes you explore resonates with the broader Filipino audience?
I actually chose Ilonggo identity because it's always been a sort of trying to discover what it really is in terms of visual arts. Kasi when you have more established na mga cultures, especially for say the Mindanaoan visual arts or Southern Philippines na visual arts, there's some elements there that you can associate it with that culture, and perhaps maybe in some parts of Luzon there are movements that you can associate with a particular place. And creating these my art based on an identity, it's still an ongoing process. It's trying to still find that aside from what I think should be Ilonggo, I also find my own voice within that identity making or building, how it resonates with a bit larger Filipino culture or identity. I think I see a lot of the younger people who are always looking for identity. They're fond of looking back in history, prehistory, or at least indigenous history, and make art or make subcultures based on it. So I've observed they like these alibata, yung mga
yes.
And then having their tattoos, tribal or indigenous looking, and there's these also community in Cebu that cosplays what they think are early Visayan fashion. So there's this desire, not only from me or from Ilonggos or artists in general. There's this desire from the bigger community of Filipinos to try to find that identity, which I am really happy now. There's a lot of art being made using Filipino culture, Filipino identity. We have like Kidlat Tahimik, who is like using this indigenous culture in his art. So that's also what I want to infuse also in art making, how to use that into contemporary art. So it's a challenge and it's also a process. I'm still doing it, and hopefully parang there's no end in sight. Parang the process alone is very enriching and very it's challenging and enriching, and at the same time it's a good way to be inspired.
Wow. So these are some of your works?
Yes.
And they always say that a great artist if collectors can identify kung sino yung artist just by looking at it.
Yes.
And when I'm looking at your paintings, if Elmer Borlongan has the specific face to his paintings, I think what strikes me the most with your paintings, I think your identifier, your very unique style, are the eyes. But the other ones, I can really tell the eyes are are your signature. Did it in was it serendipity or sinadya nyo talaga siya na para-parahas yung eyes nila?
Eyes. Actually, I have other works that I can definitely say na the focal point talaga are eyes. Actually, they're not here. They're nakuha na sila. So I call them the Big Eyes series.
Okay.
Big Eyes, they're inspired by these artists from California, US. Si Margaret Chian. She's her life was made into a biopic by it's called Big Eyes also by Tim Burton. It's a film by Tim Burton.
Yes.
It's her life is made into a film. She did these paintings of people with big eyes, and it seems like it also inspired a movement or another generation of artists in LA called the pop surrealists.
Okay.
Like some notable figures are like Mark Ryden, and also some of them are also from Japan. Like I'm not sure if they're inspired or they're like parang they inspire each other. Parang I liked it, and I feel like I connect to them more as compared to other kinds of arts like conceptual art or minimal art, which I like them also. But parang there's something about the eyes that I would like to parang they're the window to the human soul. So if you can get the eyes right, it's very expressive and it can tell a lot with just the eyes itself. So perhaps I'll use it more now as a vessel of messaging. Just the eyes.
I can really tell that you took your time.
Yeah.
Like with this one, I can really tell that you took your time with the eyes. It's a very parang I can tell na si Sir Kristoffer to. Just by looking at the eye. So, did you ever grew up knowing that you wanted to be an artist?
Actually, because
a little bit cliche yung tanong.
But yeah, I feel like there's like not many are kind of brought up in an environment where they're having those possibilities like entertained. I really want to be an artist. And not many, because I've interacted with other parents, with many kids. And then there's one kid, the other day came in here, she's only 6 years old, and she said like, hey, I want to be an artist. Someday I want to make 1,000 paintings for a gallery. She's kind of gifted, medyo advanced siya for her age. And I kind of, hey, parang that was me when I was younger. Parang I also, parang ganyan eh. And then I realized not many kids are like that pala. So I feel like I started really young, and it's more of not really thinking of becoming an artist. Parang it was entertained as an idea, as a possibility, and parang I'm not sure if I would use the word program, pero hindi siya program, parang hindi siya deliberate na attempts from my family or from people around me, but by the actions that they do, they give you encouragement, or they give you materials, and then they support your like workshops and education. So parang
But was there a time that you were discouraged?
There was a time, perhaps in my high school, parang discouraged kasi it was like parang during the time, parang a career in the visual arts, parang it's I wouldn't say na alien siya for at least in this for some parents in this part of the country, pero the traditional na mga occupation pa rin yung typically
parents would always go for the traditional engineering, doctor, lawyer. Yun yung mga gusto nila eh. Like when they say art, they would always say na hindi siya sustainable in the long run. Diba? Like they had that I don't think they're coming from a bad place though. I think they're coming from a place na hindi lang nila alam na may ganito palang mundo.
Yeah. So actually, that's why I took up nursing before.
Oh, really?
And I became a registered nurse also.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So before you went to art school, you finished nursing first?
Finished nursing.
Just to make your parents happy? No, I'm just kidding.
Kind of. But actually, kind of like it too. Nursing. It's rin siya actually. There was a point na parang I want to be a nurse also. And it's not about like having an occupation. It's like I like interacting with patients. Yeah.
Nursing. Then you went to Manila.
Before the board exams or maybe during those times.
Doon nag-aaral ka for the nursing boards?
I think nag-aaral, but kasi we had this kind of tour na Viaje del Sol sa Laguna.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. So my aunt took me to these many different art spaces in Laguna. Kay Ugo Bigyan. And then there's this guy na parang engineer siya, and then after having some money na he made his own, he went back to his passion na nag-weld siya ng mga metallic sculptures. So, and then I was like, what can you, kasi engineer ka, ganon. Ano yung mga suggestions mo? Because I'm a nurse. I'm not sure if I was already an RN at that time. Parang, I'm in nursing. What advice can you give me? Sabi niya, you can't really serve two kings at once.
Yes.
And then I was like, wow, that's a good advice.
So you can remember, no? You really can remember the pivotal moment.
Yeah.
No? That moment that made you realize that finally I'm gonna choose what I want.
Yeah.
Kasi admittedly not everyone is given the chance or the privilege to pursue what they want. Because in our country, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
Unlike, let's say in European countries where art is more of a, they see it more of as a work rather than as a hobby.
Yeah.
So doon yung mga bata, they're given the opportunities that unfortunately we don't have so much here. And wow, so when you realized that you wanted to go to art school, paano mo sinabi sa parents mo?
Actually, hindi pa nung time na yon. So it's because parang gap year din siya during the time na I'm studying for the board. During the time kasi Bagong Frank, I feel like it was Bagong Frank 2016.
Ay,
I mean around 2010, 2009, 2010. And we went to this art shop in Manila, and the sketch pads are like discounted kasi nabahaan. They're wet. So my aunt said, maybe grab 10 of those sketch pad at like 90 pesos, 80 pesos each na lang. So coming back dito sa Iloilo, I had those 10 sketch pads, like thousands of pages. And wala na, I was between jobs, employment after nursing. So what I did, I just drew, and some of these are actually here, there.
From that era.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was 2010. I did nothing. I was just there in the attic. Hindi naman siya attic. It's just
very artistic. The solution po. Tama ba? Isolation pa.
So parang isolated.
Yes.
Parang ganun. Very.
Married your craft.
Yeah. Very. I would say. Parang sad face, parang, so I did a lot of drawings lang, and I also found a really nice pencil na parang it felt fluid, felt spontaneous in drawing. So I ended up having hundreds or perhaps
sketches,
not naman thousands, but parang naubos yung 10 sketch pads na yun. Some are finished, some are like scratch na parang I just tore it off and then crumpled, hindi na siya finished. But I remembered all 10 na sketch pad na ubos ko yun. So in the matter of like maybe 10 months na, I was just isolated sa room ko. And then I joined an exhibition. I was also very grateful for artists dito sa Iloilo. They're like very welcoming. I didn't know anybody at that time. They were like,
hey, come on, join us. So, and then I was just fortunate na one writer, she wrote about me during that time. She wrote about me and then included me kind of, it was like the 30th anniversary of that newspaper. And she included me as one of the 30 artists in Iloilo. And then I was like, wow, it's something because I was coming from a nursing background and then I joined one exhibit, she saw my work and then I was now included.
And that was your first exhibit that you joined?
Hindi naman. It was one of the first
one of the
exhibitions
first.
after nursing.
Wow,
Yes,
and then you got featured.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
has a funny way of
Yeah.
nudging you to the right to the right path, no?
Yeah, so I was featured. It was in the newspaper. My family saw it and they were like, wow, you know, this actually could be something, you know? Parang for them it was something na you're featured, you're written
Oh,
about.
sure, it's a big thing.
It's a big thing. And then my aunt said, you know, parang you're just delaying your work na mag-nurse. But I was actually wanting to be a nurse at the time.
That time.
And then she was like, I can actually pay for your tuition if you want to go back to fine arts. You know, parang just,
Oh, they took it as a sign.
Yeah.
They took it as a sign. Wow.
Because you're just lazing around here, just doing drawing.
Kung wala ka, mag-aral ka na lang.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna study
Yeah.
for nurse, if you're not gonna work as a nurse, which is a good, it's a good advice from it. And I'm so happy that they were so supportive.
Yeah, yes. That's why I went back to my old teacher. She's also my high school teacher for School for the Arts, and she's now in the college fine arts school. And she's like, "Why are you here?" That's the start of my career in fine arts.
But this is my next question is a little bit controversial because people would it's an old age topic of nature and nurture.
Okay, yeah.
So did you feel na after that fine art school helped your craft? Because some would argue that you don't need to go to school to build your techniques.
Yeah.
You can just learn on your own. And then some others naman would argue na no, you have to at least have a formal training just to have a foundation to lay out the techniques. So what do you think, sir? Did fine art school help you with your
Yeah, definitely helped me. But also, entering fine art school, I was kind of wary din because my perspective or my position is that I want to have my own creativity. It's good to have somebody else teach you, pero they will teach you their school of thought. And parang you don't want to be
parang they would shape you into a mold eh, diba? This is art. They would put you in a box.
Yeah, so it depends in the school, no? Like there are schools that are very known for their school of thought that this is what we are trying to develop, more conceptual. Another school would be more technical, more in painting. But I felt like before entering fine art school kasi nag-school for the arts din ako sa high school before nursing. And then I felt like the works that I did during those gap year, parang it has a tremendous, parang very personal siya that I had a body of work na during that time. Pero mostly drawings. Entering fine art school, I'm introduced into more academic na mga mga how to use oil paint.
Yeah.
And then it's good because you are in a place where there are other artists na rin. So you kind of inspire and influence each other as opposed to just you working on your own. Parang wala ka ring thing or somebody else to compare with.
Walang benchmark.
Walang benchmark. And at the same time, you have also teachers who can give you some of their knowledge. Parang it added on to what I already have. And I'm grateful kasi those things I would not have known if I just studied on my own. It definitely added or supplemented what I already have or had. But at the same time, it kind of put you naman in a different direction naman. So for a while, I thought I had a good identity na, and then a lot of things are being introduced naman, and then you also don't know where or how to go or which direction to take. And then parang now naman it's a little bit kind of converging again to a more unified path. So some of my paintings are very disparate, yung iba-iba yung style, like more figurations, and then some are more just imagination, straight from imagination, straight from my mind to the pencil to the paper, ganun. So now I'm trying to combine those many different ideas now, so academic knowledge of how to use a paint, the theories behind it, the discourse that can be made out of it, and more spontaneous, more personal na art ko that is, I feel like it's more real, it's more in connection with what I really want to make. So parang it supplemented me. So I felt like that's a good way to go to art school if you feel like if you have a good grasp of what you want. Parang you use these ideas na lang and just pick what you need. It's not like going there and perhaps
Try everything.
you try everything, So parang you have a decision in what you or what you don't want to take in. Ganun. So for me, it's a good balance na having first self-taught na discovery, and then if you needed more knowledge and more things to supplement what you already have, perhaps going to art school would benefit you as not only technical, also having a community, having a network also, and ganun.
Especially now sa mga, kasi not everyone has the capacity to go to art school but thank God we have the art communities, like in Antipolo they have an art community there that they help each other, like yung kids they try to teach them, yung mga old artists trying to teach the new ones. So there are really a lot of avenues naman to explore. If, for example, I'm a young artist and I want to enhance my craft, and probably the message that I want our viewers to know is that if you're a young artist and you want to learn more, and there are other avenues, you just have to reach out, no? Here po ba in Iloilo, do you also support kids, like teach them, do you conduct workshops po?
I conduct workshops. Actually, I do one-on-one workshops. It's only for it's only maybe for friends or family who would request it, because I don't really, I don't really like
a group
advertise.
class. Yes.
Oh,
now they know. So if you want.
And actually, I teach also as a part-time teacher sa CPU, and used to also be a part-time teacher in San Agustin Fine Arts. So, but that was during the time of pandemic na online, so it was easy for me to jump from one school to another. But now kasi it's face-to-face na, so I have to be in one place na.
Mahirap na.
So, I teach now. I have at least 3 kids na I do workshop, maybe 1 hour a week lang. Some of his works are there.
Oh, yes, I can see.
So that's his work, and I have another one younger ones na they're like 6-7 years old. Na parang I see when I was younger, parang they had the same passion, or they're really into the arts. So I say, okay, why not? Because I'm just here. I'm painting most of the time here. If I'm not teaching,
you're painting.
I set up my canvas here, so I paint. So I say to their parents na, okay, if they want to come
they're
in,
interested,
they can just set up their stuff there. It's free. But if they want to have a more one-on-one kind of art teaching, then it's a different things. But yeah, I opened this area here for co-painting space. So they can paint, they can give them tips. But the kids are mostly gusto nila mga more on like anime, ganun. So, fun lang, parang it's more of a play for them. Pero I feel like it's also nice then to have an older person to give some mentorship in the same way that some older artists before, they kind of mentored me also.
Yes.
So, parang-
mentorship is important in
Yeah.
arts, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can really tell na para siyang, because I see artists as a reservoir of heritage.
Yeah.
And then when one artist passes it down to another one, parang nagko-continue yung heritage natin as Filipinos.
Yeah.
Like, parang may ganun akong
Yeah.
thought. That's why I love artists talaga. And Sir Kristoffer, I know you've gone through self-study, high school. You went to nursing school, and then you went to fine art school.
Yeah.
So now, if I ask you, what is Kristoffer Brasileño's art?
Now, my art is more. I'm developing another set of work. I try to talk or communicate a theme based on a particular exhibition. So that's how I would package what I think or what is my identity is to this exhibition. So siguro if I would share na lang what I'm planning next, I'm planning a more
Oh, I'm excited. We get the first dibs for the for the preview.
Yeah, sure. So I'm planning a more pop, because the artists are always, they're trying to develop something new.
Yes.
That's how movements are created. It's always a reaction against the previous.
Yes, it's always a reaction against
Oo.
yung prevalent art that time.
Oo.
So the tomorrow's art would be
Yeah.
a reaction,
Yeah.
either positive or negative
Oo.
to it, di ba?
So it's always about, from realism to impressionism to postmodern to
To
more
modern.
abstract.
Sir, here in Arts Geek Manila, we're a little bit quirky. We're not, if you have noticed, we kind of like, we're not academic talaga.
Yeah.
So our next few questions are very fun questions lang, very light questions lang. Are you ready? So, if you were to steal an artwork from any museum in the world, hypothetically, which piece would you choose?
Very difficult, no? Because I always think of these, marami kasi akong gustong i-steal. But in history, that is something that I think of right now. And actually earlier, I was thinking of something in relation to the question, parang ganun. But I don't know the exact title, but I have pictured it out. And parang it's so, for me, it's so contemporary looking.
Really?
Parang it aligns with a lot of pop surrealist contemporary art that I like.
Who's the artist po?
I like for example like mga Mark Ryden, for example
okay.
nila Rodel Tapaya.
Oh, okay,
This
okay.
big tableau of sceneries or big tableau of fantastical elements put together in a big huge composition. So I felt like he's so advanced in his he's so ahead of his time na his work it was painted hundreds of years ago. Pero I feel like if you put it as side by side with more contemporary artists,
Lalaban.
which I believe the contemporary artists also were inspired by that work.
Yeah,
That's why I guess they're. So I believe that's one thing that I would want to have in if I ever had a big museum.
Yes. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So for our next question, sir, if you can travel back in time, sinong artist yung gusto mo maka-collaborate?
Collaborate artists. Always think of these super famous artists now, like Frida Kahlo or like Van Gogh. There's
Frida Kahlo?
Yeah, like Frida Kahlo, Van Gogh. So would also like to get to know about the early artists, like mga like Michelangelo, ganon.
Botticelli.
Yeah.
We're very geeky na.
So
arts geek po.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, viewers, arts geek kasi talaga.
Kasi,
Rafael.
ganon eh. Because, it would be very interesting to see how they did art.
Diba, no, if we can travel in time, no, how did they do it back in the days?
Yeah.
Can you just imagine if we have if we have a time machine na, then we can go back to the time when Da Vinci was painting Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
Paano niya ginawa yung optical illusion?
The atmosphere, the
Yeah.
techniques. So I relate more with the Renaissance, the pre-Raphaelites, the Renaissance artists, because that's
Is Caravaggio considered Renaissance? Or no, I think he's Baroque, no?
I feel like I'm not really 100% sure about my art history. So, ganon. I would want to get to know those art because parang even my work, parang I like it to have that like parang Baroque, parang pre-Raphaelite feel na the strong light, parang chiaroscuro, ganon. So I find these and also figurations that are formalist na figures. So I'd like to learn more about them, how they did it, and it must be a very enlightening time or a very exciting time na people were like having these many discoveries in art, in science, in architecture.
Diba that was the precedent for the next how many centuries?
Yeah.
Even up to now, we can feel their impact.
Yeah. So, ganun. If I were to collaborate with them, it would be those artists.
Those artists.
Yeah.
Ang hirap pumili. I was about to ask you, sinong favorite mo sa era na yun? It's so hard.
Yeah,
It's so hard to
oo.
choose. Grabe. Pero later we will ask you. No, I know Iloilo is a melting pot for cuisine.
Yeah.
So if your art can be tasted, what do you if your art can be tasted, what would it taste like?
How the food tastes like.
Is it sweet?
Yeah.
Is it sour?
There's actually this kind of people who have this medical condition that I'm not sure condition, but one sense is kind of connected to another. So for example, they feel anger, so they really see like a huge ball of orange or whatever color, so they feel pleasure. They also have these see like violets or like parang nebula siya. Yeah, I know people who are like this so sometimes I also would be interested if there are people who would look at work and then taste buds are like parang it's na siya na trigger, no? But if I would have to have a certain flavor, there was a time na I would paint ice cream. Yeah, some of my early works before I took up fine arts, they're like really surrealist works with candy and ice cream, and the colors are pink, very neon, very pastel. So the images itself are already suggestive of what it should taste like. It would taste. I like chocolates kasi, so it must taste like cotton candy, ice cream, chocolate, like chocolate syrup. So that's what I would want to show. Even these ones are more the candy looking.
Actually,
I like.
Now that you mentioned it,
Yeah.
your color composition actually sweets.
Yeah, sweet. It has to be candy. It should taste like sweet or feel sweet.
In dalawang choices and just choose one.
Okay.
So, okay, you ready? Picasso or Matisse?
I would say Matisse.
Raphael or Da Vinci?
I've never seen a Da Vinci up front, so I would say Raphael.
Really?
Is it Raphael? Is it?
You want Raphael over Da Vinci?
I saw the Raphael once in Korea, so I've never seen a Da Vinci. So, I would like to.
It's magical. It's
Okay.
magical. Okay.
Maybe I saw
Okay,
an
ano
actual
pala?
thing, eh.
Ano pala ako? Diktador. No, you have to choose Da Vinci.
Maybe if I saw Da Vinci in real life, I would be definitely Da Vinci.
I was just blown away with Mona Lisa.
Really?
And he has more paintings in Uffizi Gallery. Eh. Okay, I'm not gonna preempt you.
Okay,
Pero
okay.
see, I'm gonna respect kasi this is a democracy. I'm gonna respect Rafael. Okay, next question is supposed to be fast. Tapos ang dami kong commentary. Van Gogh or Monet?
Van Gogh or Monet? I connect well with Monet. Yeah.
Jackson Pollock or Salvador Dali?
Dali.
Not even thinking about it. Abstract or realism?
Realism.
Art with a message or art for art's sake? Medyo controversial.
Now that I've had that conversation, I would go art with a message.
Art school or self-taught?
If I would choose one, I would say art school, being a teacher and also product of an art school.
Photography or painting?
Painting.
Acrylic or oil?
Oil.
Lahat ng natanong ko who sa graduate of fine arts, they would always choose oil.
Yeah.
I know you were part of the group of artists who did the Esplanade.
Esplanade murals.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Here
We started here in Adria. The bigger
So-
one is actually here.
So my next question is, street art or gallery art?
Street art or gallery art? Now that I'm no longer painting, I would say gallery art.
Oh.
Because painting street art here in a tropical country, parang I'm at the age na, I just want to have an electric fan.
It's very humid. Very, very humid.
So yeah, I would say gallery now, for now.
So, Sir Kristoffer, can you invite our viewers to come and see Ilonggo artists? And guys, there are so many magagaling na artists here in Iloilo and in the other provinces. Hindi lang siya sa Manila.
Yeah.
Can you, sir, invite them?
Yes, I would like to invite you here to Iloilo. So Iloilo, they claim it as an art capital, but they don't know which capital of what. But parang ganun lang, art capital. So we're not really saying art capital of Philippines, but just an art capital. There's a nice ring to it. So we have Trive Art Gallery here in Adria. That's where I work and I paint. And we have so many art galleries also. We have the Puluyan Art Gallery of Melvin Gerham. We have the private gallery, family museum gallery of Adora Gallery, ni Sir Edwin. We have Ilomoca. We have Museo Iloilo. We also have in Dumangas, Saractrilon, the Magnet Gallery. So there's so many things to discover here, and even more than what I just said, Iloilo is known for its museums and its galleries. So I invite everybody to discover for yourself what Iloilo has to offer.
Thank you so much, Sir Kristoffer.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for having us today.
Yes.
It was so fun talking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.